Despite being the best team on Cape Cod in 2018, the YD Red Sox are facing elimination in Brewster, Massachusetts in Game 2 of the Eastern Division semifinals. Hello and welcome to Stony Brook Field. Alongside TJ Matthewson, I'm Dana Gray for Game 2. Whitecaps taking yesterday's first day of the playoffs with a 5-4 victory, and now YD playing for its summer lives today on the road at a ballpark they have not fared too well.
Yeah, now's the time where you mentioned the top team in all of the Cape has got to, step up and show what they're made of. Yesterday, really kind of just a bad luck. I'd say more of a bad luck loss. That deciding RBI triple by Ray Alejo in the 7th inning, just a check swing, little dunker down the right field line that finds us space in the outfield and ends up putting that go-ahead run on the scoreboard for the Whitecaps. And then for the Red Sox offense, a ton of hard outs with guys on base led to them leaving, I believe, 8 men on base. And I have a hard time seeing that repeat in here today.
It's the second straight summer when the Red Sox and the Whitecaps are meeting up in the first round of the playoffs. And if history can tell you anything, good news for Red Sox fans. YD took Game 1 last year, then promptly lost the next 2 contests, and were bounced out of the playoffs as the Whitecaps went on to win the 2017 championship. So definitely not out of it yet. You've got the best offense on the Cape. And we spoke with Dan Jaffe, assistant coach for the YD Red Sox, ahead of today's first pitch to find out what he saw from yesterday and what'll be different this afternoon. From first pitch between the Red Sox and the Whitecaps for Game 2 of the EDS here at Stony Brook Field. Dana Gray with YD assistant coach Dan Jaffe. Jaff, tough loss yesterday, 5-4 in Game 1. Take me through what you saw from your approach.
To be honest with you, actually happy with a lot of the things we saw. In the first 4 innings there, runners in scoring position with 2 outs, and we had 3 hard line outs to left field and a good shot in the left center field that all got caught. Sometimes you can't really test the luck, and it's just kind of the way it falls sometimes. But really proud of the way we battled back. Our relief pitching kept us in it. We had the check swing triple that ultimately was the difference in the game. But we hit some balls hard. We did a lot of things really well, and baseball's baseball. It's just about building on it and responding to it for today.
Well, you mentioned the relief pitching after Henry could only go an inning in the third. Combination of Fidel Ingebrigtsen and then Denholm coming in and pretty much 7 perfect innings for you guys, other than that triple that it was kind of a fluke, as you mentioned. How important is that going to be as the rest of the series goes on?
Yeah, that's huge. Those guys going as long as they did, going basically 7 2/3 innings, and really keeping us in the game and giving us a chance. And they threw quality innings, so it helped save the rest of our bullpen for the rest of the series. But more than anything, it's a confidence builder. After you give up a 4 spot and then shut them down with 1 run through 7 2/3, that really helps you know where you're at in the series.
There were a lot of times this season when it felt like the Red Sox couldn't be stopped, especially on the offensive front. You come in with the best record in the Cape yesterday, earned some very well-deserved awards, but slumped a little, left a lot of guys on in scoring position. How do you, as a coach, keep these guys from not losing confidence and sticking to what they know best?
It's about knowing who we are. The biggest thing that these guys get preached to every day, and the biggest thing that we talked about batting practice today, is what we did through 44 games was nothing short of special. Hitting 285 in the Cape and leading the league in offense is huge. One game doesn't really dictate how the offense really is. Like I said, we hit into some tough luck with a lot of good outs, but about everything, it's just staying with doing what we do and staying with our approach and staying with how we are as a team, and baseball will take care of itself.
Lastly, this is a team that's come from behind quite a few times this regular season, shown some adversity, maybe not to this level, being down to their final loss right here today at Stony Brook Field. What are we going to see today from these YD Red Sox?
You're going to see a team that's going to leave everything out there on the field. Nobody's ready to go home. Nobody's packed. Nobody's looking at tomorrow. Everybody's looking at we're winning 1 inning at a time, 1 game at a time, and bounce back from that thing and see if we can make some thunder in this thing.
Thanks for your time, Jeff. Good luck today, man.
Thanks, Dana.
Well, we thank Coach Jaffe, as always, for his time ahead of first pitch here between the Red Sox and the Whitecaps. TJ, a lot of good stuff locked in there, but seems like a very clear message from the coaching staff and amongst all the YD players that yesterday was not their best. It was also not a consistent outcome of what they can produce, and I think we're going to see a very different group here today.
Yeah, I have to say we're going to see a couple big innings today, all those tough luck outs. Most of them, as Jaffe mentioned, came with runners on base and really prevented those big innings from getting going outside of that bottom of the 5th inning where Johnny DeLuca tied the game up with a 2-run home run. Red Sox really just stagnant. Another thing, get some consistency out of the starting pitching. Tommy Henry only lasted into the second inning yesterday, just an inning and a third. And they're turning to a guy, Brant Herter, today, who has been rock solid all season, led the team in innings pitched and just an ERA, just a touch over 3 that they're going to lean on heavily today.
Red Sox lineup almost identical as it was for game 1, as it will be for game 2. Just a couple of swaps, specifically in the DH role, but it'll be Zach Ashford leading things off, and out in center field, the left fielder Brad Beasley bats second, Noah Campbell in the 3 spot and playing second base. No surprise, Andrew Dashbach in the cleanup spot over at first base. The right fielder Johnny DeLuca is batting 5th. Zach Zubia, that's the new addition. He's the DH. He'll bat 6th. Nick Quintana playing the hot corner. And in the 7-hole, Christian Koss, he will bat 8th and play shortstop. And Adam Kerner doing the catching today for Brant Herter. Zubia, the big difference from that starting lineup. No Quinn Cotton. What can we expect, from TJ, from Zubia? A little different aspect that he brings to this Whitey lineup.
Well, Zubia, more of a guy, steps in the box. You have to take a few steps back in the outfield. Just got to respect that power from Zach. 3 home runs on the summer, 11 in the spring at Texas, and just opens up the field a lot more. Guy can really work the count, make the pitchers work, and the guy they're going to face today for the Whitecaps, Andrew Schultz, has really struggled with the free passes this season. 23 strikeouts in 21 and a third innings, but 25 walks, and in his 10 appearances this summer, has only struck out more than he's walked twice in 10 appearances.
So Schultz getting the ball in a pivotal Game 2 for the YD Red Sox of the Eastern Division semifinals. Brewster has YD on the ropes, and the Red Sox will be playing for their 2018 lives. First pitch just about 10 minutes away here from Stony Brook Field. Hot, muggy, steamy here in Brewster, Massachusetts, as Superfan Brady goes out to hand in the lineups to the umpiring crew today. Oddly similar to what we saw at Red Wilson yesterday. Bill Fisher, though, calling the balls and strikes behind home plate. Al Liberdoni is over at first base. Mike Rabideau is at second. And Michael Finn down the third base line. We get 4 umpires for the Cape League playoffs, and that's what we get here for Game 2. Red Sox dropping yesterday's contest 5-4, hoping to bounce back. And you mentioned Andrew Schultz, righty from Tennessee. Back-to-back volunteers that the Red Sox will be facing. But it seemed like once YD could get to the Brewster bullpen, that's where they had success. So that's probably going to be some sort of game plan today against Schultz with a 3.54 ERA, more than serviceable.
Yeah, you looked at the game yesterday. Zach Lingenfelter, arguably the best arm on the mound for the Brewster Whitecaps, came out through 4 1/3 quality innings, just 2 hits, a run. It was earned, 4 walks, just 2 strikeouts. But as soon as Zach Schneider comes in out of the bullpen, bam, YD ties it up in that same frame with 4 runs, and they tied the game up at 4. And for the most part, it was just Schneider after him, and then Criswell came in, was throwing gas out of that bullpen for the Whitecaps. And this is a Whitecaps team that really struggled on the mound all summer, next to last or last in almost every single pitching category, pitching, defense, and offense. And just got to look for the Red Sox, to take advantage of that today and even the series up, go home for winner take all tomorrow.
Well, it can be the beauty of the curse for the playoffs. It's a fresh new season. The regular season does not matter. Even though the Red Sox collected 29 more points than the Whitecaps through 44 games, they find themselves down to their elimination in the 2018 Cape League playoffs. Game 2 of the Eastern Division semifinals coming your way in just a few moments from Stony Brook Field. We'll pause for the national anthem, and then on the other side, get you the rest of your starting lineups and first pitch for a pivotal Game 2. The 2018 YD Red Sox have faced some adversity this summer, but nothing quite like this. They trail 1-0. The series advantage for the Brewster Whitecaps in the Eastern Division semifinals, a spot possibly to be earned by the hometown Whitecaps in the Eastern Division finals against either Chatham or Harwich. YD trying to prevent that exact outcome and push for a deciding Game 3 tomorrow at Red Wilson Field. Andrew Schultz getting in his practice throws, a starter from Tennessee who's got an 0-3 record so far this summer, but don't let that fool you. A 3.54 ERA, 23 strikeouts. The walks have plagued him. He's got a blistering fastball, but sometimes, TJ, the control can be a little herky-jerky.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the pregame, and just the 20 and the third innings he's thrown this season, 25 free passes. And for the way that YD ran the bases yesterday, I wrote it down. They're excellent. 6 for 6 on steals this summer. So you just, especially these guys at the top of the lineup, Zach Ashford, Brad Beasley, Johnny DeLuca had stolen bases yesterday too, and just got something you got to be on the lookout. Kind of picked on Joe Donovan a little bit behind the plate.
Yesterday, there were only 3 half innings where runs were scored. There were a 4 spot put up by the Whitecaps in the top of the second. YD responded in the bottom of the 5th with 4 of their own. And then a run coming in the visiting half of the 7th inning. Joe Donovan, the catcher today, scoring on an RBI triple from Ray Alejo that fell in fair territory down the right field line. One of the first batters that Trent Denholm faced, and that was the difference. Zach Ashford readying as he walks up to face Andrew Schultz. Brewster defense today, almost exactly the same as yesterday. Canzone, Bishop, and Alejo left to right in the outfield. Eden is at third base, Gage Workman at short. Ike Freeman over at second base. Jesse Franklin is the first baseman. And just like yesterday, Joe Donovan, the Wolverine, doing the catching for Andrew Schultz, the righty about to make his most important start of the summer. Whitecaps leading the Eastern Division semifinals 1-0. Red Sox on the verge of elimination. First pitch to Ashford.